Senator, can I turn to you first? Because this is something that the Iran situation is front and center of this current administration. Guys, thank you very much. Thank you. You were very pleased to see President Trump promise the Iranian protesters the help that they were calling for, and say help is on the way. And it seems like you're consistently reminding the president of what he promised. You wrote on Monday, President Trump said, keep protesting, help is on the way. He will be on the right side of history. I believe him to be a man of his word. On Tuesday, you sort of doubled down. If this regime...
What's today?
Huh?
What day is it today?
Today is some other day.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I think it's Friday or Saturday.
In any
event, you've been very consistent. Do you believe this, and do you believe that President Trump should do what he said he would do?
Here's what I believe. They're the weakest they've been since 1979. It is a regime with American blood on its hand. It is a great disruptor of the region. It's a religious theocracy that if they could get a nuclear weapon, they would use it to advance their religious goals, which are three: purify Islam, destroy the Jewish state, and come after us. Hitler wrote a book, he wanted to kill all the Jews. Nobody believed him. I believe the Ayatollah and his regime, not the Iranian people, are religious fanatics, religious Nazis. Hitler wanted a master race. They want a master religion. So why do I mention that? There's no negotiating with these people, in my view. They're hell-bent on enacting an agenda based on religion that teaches them to lie, teaches them to destroy in the name of God. So President Trump said something that's going to be the best thing he ever said, or maybe the worst thing he ever said. When asked, what should the protesters do? Keep protesting. Now, that came from a man who genuinely believed that. That wasn't a calculated response. Ronald Reagan went to the Berlin Wall, and we still talk about it. He didn't say, do you mind lowering it? He said, tear it down. He was clear. He was concise. So President Trump gave an answer, keep protesting, help is on the way. And a couple of days later, he said, it's time for new leadership in Iran, because the Ayatollah and his crowd, they're bad guys, they're terrible guys. You put all three of those statements together, then what do you have? You have a president standing with the people. What do the people want? They want the oppression to end. They want to start over with a new Iran. So here's what I would say.
Are you backing regime change?
Yeah, totally. If you're not, you're crazy.
Military regime change.
Yeah. I'm backing the people who want a country they can live in without having their daughter killed because she...
But I'm trying to figure out, because there's a huge flotilla in the Arabian Sea that President Trump is using as a negotiating tactic. Yeah. He's just said, as you heard me say, that he would prefer negotiating.
I prefer negotiation, too. Let me finish my thought.
Okay.
If we back out now, it'll be the biggest mistake we've made, far worse than the Syrian red line, far worse than Afghanistan. You can't say, keep protesting, we got you back, help's on the way, and nothing happened. That's why I am confident that President Trump will get an outcome consistent with those three statements through diplomacy or military force. Let me just say this. Any deal about Iran has to come to the Senate. I'm not going to bless a bad deal. They're not out in the street because of limiting the nuclear ambitions of the Ayatollah. They're out in the street because life is miserable. People can't have a decent quality life. They live in fear, and most Iranians have had it. They'd like a new start. The day after.
Okay.
Well, if the Ayatollah goes down, we'll work on the day after. I think we'll have a better chance of having friends with the protesters than the Ayatollah. Here's the day after I worry the most about. The day after we blinked. The day after we made promises that we didn't keep. We made assurances that fell short. That day after is generational damage. Hamas, Hezbollah, the Houthis, they don't go away. They come back stronger. The Arabs go back into their corner, and the people who've been protesting will be systematically destroyed. The day after, if we get it right, the mothership of terrorism goes down. Hamas, the Houthis, Hezbollah, they've lost their biggest benefactor. Saudi, Israel is the most likely outcome. So I'll end with this. I've never seen a more consequential time in history as right now. If we can take this regime down through the people, their desires, not ours, and replace it with a friend, not a foe, be the biggest change in 1,000 years. If we don't get it right and we blink, it'll be the biggest change in 1,000 years in the wrong way.